Okay, the project that we're going to do today is called a kaleidoscope design. Okay, so I want you to think about a kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope is the same all the way around. Okay, so whatever you do on one side, you should do all the way around so that your pattern is the same all the way around. Don't do something on one side and then something else on the other side. We want it to be the same. So if you look, I did circles here, but when I started to do the top row, I wanted to make sure that I had them lined up. Because I have 7 circles on this side, and that's where I started, that means I should have 7 circles on all the other side. So I figured if I put 1 in the middle, that gives me 3 on this side and 3 on that side. So be thinking about as you're doing this, be thinking about keeping it even and keeping it spaced. Okay? If you want to divide up these spaces into smaller ones, you can, and you can maybe put a triangle in there. Think about what you can fit in the space and how you can do that. I'm doing this lightly because when we're done, we're going to add color to it. Okay? One thing that I want to tell you not to do is don't divide up this into 2 smaller spaces. Just do something bigger that can fill the space. Okay? Do not do like a crisscross pattern like this, because that's going to end up with a whole bunch of spaces that nobody's going to want to color in because they're too small. So do a square, do a circle, do rectangles, trapezoids, whatever, but fill the space and fill the whole space. Okay? What we don't want to do then is do a bunch of tiny little spaces that we don't feel like coloring and then color over them with all one color, because that just looks sloppy. It looks like you did a pattern that you didn't really want to color in, and so you colored it all one color rather than coloring the spaces different colors. Okay? So try to do just different shapes instead. Take your time, use your best craftsmanship, get your whole pattern done, and then you can go back. I would say markers would just be brighter to use for this. I would say use markers for this. When you are all done, you're going to color the space in between. You could use crayons for it, but crayons are probably not as, going to be quite as bright as the markers would. Okay, so take your time, use your best craftsmanship. After you get your shapes colored in, then you're going to go back and color the negative space around it. Okay, so make sure that you're taking your time, using your best craftsmanship. If you want to go back with a black marker afterwards and trace around the shapes, that would be perfectly fine. That would actually crispen up your edges and make it look really nice. Okay, take your time, use your best craftsmanship, and have fun.